Sports fans, what's going on? Patrick over here at GhostPicks ATS coming at you with a live stream. Today, we will be talking about a couple different things. I did not put the list on here. I'm just now realizing that. But talking points today, we're going to be go over some NBA DFS. I have a lineup for you up already on the side over there. Talk a little bit about what goes into NBA DFS, as well as the big special that we got going on right now. This will be going on until Thursday or Sunday when the NFL does kick off. But the NFL December guarantee every single month so far. I rant and I rave about NFL just about on everything I do, and say how this is cream of the crop. It is the best in the business in my opinion. That consistency. Everybody has their streaks, but being consistent is one of the best parts about sports betting, especially the best of the best. Up over 20 units in every single one of the months so far. August, September, October. That's not true. Not in August. September, October, November. All over 20 units. Each of those months up 70 units for the year in the NFL. NFL guarantee, only $200 since this week. NFL starts on the 1st. It will be 5 weeks of NFL. So 1st, 8th, 15th, 22nd, and the 29th. Those weekends all have NFL. So 5 NFL weeks. $200, and if we are not up at least 10 units after the month, you'll get the next month for free, which is the playoffs, and that's usually even more expensive. So it's a pretty damn good deal, just showing the confidence in my NFL guarantee. Let's see. Last 10 games down there on the bottom left, you can see 8-2. That's across all sports. Ohio State last night, and then Michigan and UNC. In college football on Saturday, but other than that, the rest NFL. But we're on the ball. Let's get into a little bit of DraftKings because DraftKings is what I love to do just about more than anything. Player data and tracking injuries, especially with COVID, it's difficult. So make sure the best advice I can give you is before submitting any lineup 7 o'clock. Make sure to check those guys are in and active. One player out, that'll kill you. And with NBA, it's not like NFL. Those guys will just drop out 30 minutes before the game without anything ahead of time. So you really got to pay attention for that. And with that being said, Dwayne Dedmon, grade A example. Bam Adebayo out of the blue today. He was announced out. He will be getting thumb surgery, I do believe. He'll be out at least 6 weeks. So if you're desperate need in some fantasy leagues or something, Dwayne Dedmon is a name to keep an eye on. Miami doesn't do anything too special, but Dedmon's he's a capable replacement. He can shoot the ball decent, decent little mid-range jumper, but he'll get you those 8 to 10 rebounds that you need out of a big man to keep pace. So we're going to lead off with him in the NBA DFS today as the number one value play. And then followed by that value play, we always go directly to just the top player of the day. And for me today, it's going to be Giannis. It's between Giannis, Jokic, Luka. So it's a stack lineup today. Over 9 NBA games going off today. And Giannis is my top guy. Going up against the Charlotte Hornets, who they love to push the pace and don't really have the size inside to stop Giannis. They are getting healthy. The Bucks are at the right time. But also, being on the road, they don't shoot too well as a team. And Giannis has to take over a little more on the road as opposed to at home where he is more of a facilitator. So those are a couple things to keep in mind there. But if you look down the lineup, just about every single one of these guys is on a team where injuries are either ravaging that team or somebody key is out. So somebody like Jayshawn Tate. Over this, last year he was almost Rookie of the Year. He had a phenomenal rookie season out of nowhere. He's kind of been second tier this year to Jalen Green. And for obvious reasons, Jalen Green, he's an absolute stud. But Jalen Green pulled his hamstring 2 games ago, and who's his direct replacement? That is Jayshawn Tate. He's been getting after it, and for only $5,400 on DraftKings, he is one of those guys to definitely look for. Going up against a bad and banged-up OKC team, can't beat the value on him. And speaking of that game, there's injuries all across the board. So Josh Giddey, the rookie for the Oklahoma City Thunder, pretty good usage rate. Gets out there, gets a lot of rebounds, assists, takes the ball out of Shai Gilgeous' hands. We're taking Shai Gilgeous. Speaking of that game, both teams are mediocre on defense. So I expect, one of those, even though they're two of the bad teams, those are two of the best players and will be benefactoring. So I'm loading up on that game where I think there's going to be some poor defense and a pretty good pace and guys at just great value. So another one, Lou Dort, only at $5,600. He's been going for 34 points alone, never mind 34 total, which is my projection for him today. So his upside is through the roof, especially with the thin lineup that they have today. Shoot. Other than that, I mean, you see the rest of these guys on these lists. It goes on and on and on. So one of my top strategies always is injuries. With NBA in particular, you look at the guys who are going to be benefiting from guys being out. A team like Cleveland, a couple injuries, whether it be Chetty Osman or Sexton. The big guys are getting more minutes. Jared Allen, he's a pretty damn reliable guy to put up 40, 50 fantasy points on any given night. And the same thing goes with Shai Gilgeous, especially with all the players being out. His usage rate is going to go up against a bad team. That's the kind of stuff you love. Love those matchups. And then the last guys rounding it out, you're looking for consistent, and they're going to get you about 5 times their worth. So a guy like Naz Reid. Naz Reid on the Minnesota Timberwolves coming off the bench. But Jalen McDaniels is out. They've got a couple guys. Powell is also listed as questionable, leaning towards not being able to play. With that being said, Naz Reid is a direct benefactor at only $3,400. He does everything. He gets blocks, rebounds, assists, steals, and will even chip in for a couple points. Not looking for anything crazy out of him. And then last but not least, the rookie, Chris Duarte out of Oregon. LeBron James said it best. The dude's an absolute sniper. I knew he wasn't going to drop all the way down to the Lakers, but he is one of these guys who's just about as good as it gets as far as the value goes. I mean, he's been putting up consistently over 20 a game as far as fantasy-wise, which is at least 5 times his current price at $4,000, and that's the kind of stuff you're looking for rounding out your lineup. If you have any questions or anything, always feel free to hop in the chat. Let me see. It's actually funny. So each time I've done this so far, I've made sure that it was up and running. I did not check this time. I just wung it. It is up. It is live. Oscar, what is going on, man? I see the comments are working too. That's good to see. Good to see. If you have any questions, always feel free. Drop down in the chat and do whatever. I'm about to hop on over here into the chat and talk about some NFL coming up this week. One thing in particular, this Thursday night game between the New Orleans Saints and the Dallas Cowboys, we have seen Taysom Hill get all the majority of the snaps. It looks like he will be starting tomorrow, which is, hey, I think a lot of people will be backing them, and for a decent reason. I don't think it's anything too crazy to trust Taysom Hill. I think sitting at 5-5, I was wrong last week on the Saints, saying that they're going to be going to their bag. I do think coming back again against the Dallas Cowboys, that should be a much better game than we are expecting. So I think that's about it today. Wrapping up that NFL December guarantee. It's about as good as it gets as far as the deal goes, at least up 10 units for the month of December. We've been up 20 units on every single month so far in the NFL. September, 20, 25, 25, October, November. It's all about the long, consistent gains. Within those, there's a couple 5-unit weeks, a couple -2 unit weeks, and then they come back with a 10. So, if you're picking out 1 week at a time, it's always difficult. You can never make any, for sure guarantees. But over the course of the months, it's been very, very consistent. And that is what you're looking for. Steven Harrison, I see over here, like the over in the Dallas game. Who we got? Okay. Yes, he's with Taysom Hill. I wouldn't be surprised to see the same thing. The one thing about the Saints defense, though, the Saints defense is pretty damn good, traditional kind of good. If you give them a running quarterback like Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen, they struggle. But against, Dak, if prime Dak, or actually Dak is still in his prime, no doubt about that. But when he was able to run a little more, I would be a little worried about this Saints team. I don't have official play or anything in the over, but do think that the Saints will be able to generate some offense and probably pick up the pace a little bit as well with Taysom. You're also getting Kamara back and Ingram. So The only reason I particularly don't like the over, they are a running team. They like running the ball. Both teams have run first ideals. So, and I Steven, a little more contrarian play. Absolutely. I love contrarian plays more than anything. But let's see. I think that's about it for today. If you have any other questions before I wrap it up, Glockman, awesome. Listen on his way home. Well, I appreciate everybody for stopping in. Once I hop off here, it'll be able to refresh and you can do everything. But with McCarthy being out for Dallas, that is an interesting point as well from Mr. Harrison. Kellen Moore being at the helm for Dallas, that's actually a very great point. So it's not only a game for the Dallas Cowboys to step up, but Kellen Moore. That's kind of a little more of what I like to call the qualitative side of things. It's not as much in the numbers, but more so in the philosophy and off-the-field stuff. So appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'll be back here just about every day doing this stuff from now on. Now we got the new software, so absolutely love it. Thanks for tuning in. Good luck. God bless. Grind on, and catch you back here tomorrow. I think we're out of here. Peace.